Welcome, citizen. I am your host, Venerati, and in today's cast, we're going to see another matchup from RootKiwikaki, and he's going to be going up against EGStrifeCro. So it is definitely going to be two top-tier players with us today. We are going to see a PvZ, so it's going to be an interesting matchup. And leading off, of course, the overlord from EGStrifeCro will be over there. We are on Metalopolis, and I picked this game. This is the game that I've talked about that you should watch because you're watching it now, and you should watch all of it because it is really epic. I actually haven't seen this kind of game in a while. Maybe I'm just not watching enough, as I have been quite busy lately. But it is awesome, and I really hope you enjoyed as much as I do. And starting off, nothing actually, nothing bonkers. It's actually really too early for anything crazy to be happening, but we do have RootKiwikaki moving around, trying to locate his enemy. But of course, EGStrifeCro will be giving away his position here shortly. As of course, when you see these overlords popping up this early, it's kind of obvious. Well, is it going to pop up? Maybe. Nope. Oh, he was actually able to see it. So nice move by StrifeCro right there, making sure that he didn't give his position away. But he's able to see. Oh, no, he gave it away. Unfortunate. I mean, honestly, they're eventually going to see it one way or another. He's going to be walling up, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But it's nice just to kind of try to mask yourself at one point or another. That was crazy. Did you see that? Hold on. Blam. Yeah, APMs. Let's go and take a look at that real quick. Yeah. So definitely a pretty high APM coming from Kiwikaki right there. So good stuff, good stuff. Either way, we have StrifeCro trying to evict this probe right there. StrifeCro will be taking the early natural expansion, feeling confident that he can actually keep it, especially with this kind of, oh my god, spawning. There we go, spawn placements. Blam, use your words. It's not going to be too difficult, as you can always defend it, but you do have to actually worry about proxy pylons. There's a lot of time you will see it up here, and so of course, the forces can circumvent all of your static defenses right there. And Blink Stalkers also can be a huge threat, especially to your main, as they come out with a 3-gate robo with a observer right here will just blink up into your main, and then it's definitely going to be sad face. But of course, all of that will come in time. EGStrifeCro still using his overlords, trying to poke around, make sure nothing crazy is going to be coming from Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki just now finishing up his cybernetics core, walling off here, making sure that there won't be any crazy Zergling run-bys. But the Zealot not actually going to be sitting here, will be going on the offensive, it does appear, and he will be trundling down the highway right there, and maybe not, nope, he's just going to kind of hang out there, alright. Well, either way, StrifeCro will not have any sort of early pressure being exerted just quite yet, and probably will be waiting for the Stalker to finish up there before anything of that nature. We do have Metabolic Boost finishing up here. Now, pretty cool. StrifeCro just got 100 minerals and stopped. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of Zerglings coming from StrifeCro right now. And we do actually see these Zerglings engaging, kind of seeing what's going on and trying to get away from them, because those two Zerglings would not be near enough to engage these two units from Kiwikaki. Kiwikaki, of course, will be coming in here to the natural. Nope, deciding maybe, is he going to go to the main? Yes, he will be going into the main. Will be going for this mineral iron, killing one drone right there. This queen not happy about the situation. Will be coming in here. These Zerglings trying to get in contact with this Stalker. Of course, those two Zerglings won't be enough by themselves, but just trying to buy some time for StrifeCro right now. Trying to get those 20 Zerglings out, by the way. So right now, StrifeCro is about to come out here with a huge hammer, and this queen is going to be in jeopardy of dying. It is trying to survive right here. And of course, the Zerglings will be coming out of their eggs. These Stalkers will be retreating, but of course, these Zerglings will be able to catch them and get that surround right there. And Metabolic Boost is almost done, so it looks like the entirety of RootKiwiki's early pressure force will be compromised, as we do have more Zerglings coming out of the main. These 3 Zerglings, of course, trying to make something happen here, but will be reinforced here momentarily by this chittering horde. And yes, this Stalker can go ahead and kiss its ass goodbye. This probe, though, seeing what's going on, will be seeing this threat. And Kiwikaki doing a good job of going ahead, grabbing the expansion with that early pressure, and doing the Forge expansion. We'll have 2 photon cannons, and doing a really good job of that force field coming down here, bottling off all of those forces, putting a pylon down here, so making this just nice and Zergling tight. These cannons will be finishing up in time to save these pylons, another pylon coming down here, trying to make sure that there won't be any gaps for these Zerglings to find. So that sentry coming out just in time, seeing a clutch force field coming down, and so RootKiwikaki has kept himself in the macro game right there. Great timing. So actually, pretty interesting stuff coming from StrifeCro. He just now throwing his units or his drones back on the extractor, but allowing himself to really just get a lot of minerals coming in for those Zerglings. Using those 2 hatcheries with the 2 queens, going to have a lot of larvae coming in here from all of those eggs, and
I also
just
liked,
able to
I'm a big fan of Kiwikaki.
large army. And
I found that style
what's
really
going on right there. Actually, I believe there's something in the background. So let's go ahead and
he was
fix
against
that real
really
quick.
shut that
Don't
down.
want that.
So
And yes, you are paused. Blam. Here we go. So RootKiwikaki, just sitting here, knows that StrifeCro is out on the fringes of his expansion, and just looking for a weakness to pop up there. And we see 3 more gateways coming online, and a Stargate has just been thrown down. So we are going to see Kiwikaki just kind of lean back inside of his base, feeling confident that he can go ahead and just sit back. We do see another pylon coming down there, so really just only allowing a bottleneck of this main mineral line right here. And those Zerglings, of course, their numbers being absolutely useless in this situation. So StrifeCro will be grabbing another extractor, has the 2 extractors in his natural, fully populated, so we are going to be seeing a lot of tech coming from him. It's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to roll into, because it doesn't have a Roach Warren, so we could see Mutalisks, we could see Hydralisks, Ultralisks, Infestors, you name it. The possibilities are endless at this point. He does grab another expansion right here, though, so we'll be continuing to keep the macro advantage to himself, though. We do see Phoenix being produced out of the Stargate, so we're probably going to see a lot of Phoenix harassment, and it can really be frustrating if you have someone who has really good micro and uses the Phoenixes. It is just so frustrating. I mean, for me personally, I know a lot of you out there have been on the receiving end of it. It's really annoying. I mean, even he has 3 queens right now. The only true way to really thwart the heavy Phoenix harassment is spine crawlers, or spore crawlers, excuse me. But the spore crawlers will only be so useful because they can only protect a certain amount of area. So you have to throw down a lot of them, and that's a lot of money wasted on static defense. But of course, we do see this Phoenix will be chewing on these overlords. These overlords kind of out in the open and vulnerable. We do have this 1 queen right here, so the Phoenix will be backing off. Won't be able to get anything particularly epic happening, but let's go take a look. We have 77 harvesters for StrifeCro. That's pretty intense. That's a lot of harvesters. And we have another expansion coming out for StrifeCro, so StrifeCro is really leaning on that macro right now. And not to be outdone, RootKiwikaki, of course, will be expanding to yet another mineral line right here, and we have more and more Phoenixes just being pumped out by these 2 Stargates. So it looks like Kiwikaki will be continuing to produce that nice fleet of Phoenixes. And I'm really excited to see how he's going to be using these in the future, because Kiwikaki is very, very brutal when it comes to micro. So I've seen him use the Phoenixes before, and it's definitely not something that I would want to be on the receiving end of. And we're starting to... It's really interesting to see. Early on, these Phoenixes can be annoying, and it's not until you get to about the 4 and 5 mark where they really start to hold a lot of power, as the energy can recharge, and you've got enough of them up in the air that they can pull up the units and actually kill them quickly. Because if you only have 2 or 3, you know, you've only got 1 or 2 Phoenixes actually chewing on that unit, especially if you're picking up queens. It's not a lot of magic happens. So we're seeing another drone transfer, and we are just seeing StrifeCro just continuing to pump out these, and Kiwikaki also just knowing, I guess Kiwiyaki's feeling the way that this match is going, does not want to be left behind, and he has just actually caught up basically with StrifeCro as far as harvester count. So both of our players here really just pouring on the gas for the economy. And look at this, we have a lot of Phoenixes on the field, and more Phoenixes joining this little fleet right here, and they will be coming into the main. They will be picking up these queens. There's 1 queen left on the ground, 1 queen going down. We have 3 more queens entering the area, trying to kill these Phoenixes. This last queen from the main will be killed right there, and so none of these Phoenixes actually going down. A lot of them being hurt, but nothing really epic going on right there. So right now these queens are actually kind of in danger. What the Mutalisks will be showing up to kind of protect the queens, and we do actually have corruptors coming online as well. Now the phoenixes will eat Mulus all day long, just because these phoenixes can turn around and actually fire while moving, which is the really strong selling point, and they are faster than the Mulus. So the Mulus really, you know, one of the big points about the Mulus was the fact that they are so fast, they are so mobile. But of course, the Phoenixes are outdoing them in this case, and the Corruptors, though, the Corruptors are slow, but they've got the firepower, they've got the range too. So really, we're gonna see some air battles going on right here. We do see that one queen being picked up and just knocked out of the sky. We do see this one Spore Crawler attacking, but so many Phoenixes. Only one of those Phoenixes actually going down. We saw a couple of drones being picked off right there. We have the Zerglings just kind of hanging out right now while these Phoenixes are just going to be raping and pillaging all of StrifeCro's mineral lines right here. So the Phoenixes will be moving up here and picking up a lot of drones right there, one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. Blam! All of those, he's completely cleared out that mineral line. These Mutasagors showing up here, trying to make them go, just trying to beat them back, but it was just not in time. As these two Spore Crawlers, I mean, even these three Spore Crawlers that are right there, there's just so many Phoenixes in the air. Though right now we do have a counterattack coming from StrifeCro, forcing the cancellation of that Nexus. These Zerglings are too numerous for really it to be worth the Phoenixes picking them up right there. Let's take a look at the income tab. And right now, though, StrifeCro just keeping on the gas as far as the economy goes. 95 harvesters, even after he lost the entirety of that mineral line. Of course, we have kind of seen RootKiwikaki lean back a little bit. He's got 78, not really pouring that much more steam into it. But right now, both our players, huge macro mode right now. We have one more expansion, actually just now queued up for StrifeCro. So StrifeCro moving up here. And we have Greater Spire online, or coming online right now. We see a lot of sentries down here. These Mutos in a lot of danger right here, as these Phoenixes are just going to pour in the fire and just tear them to shreds. As we do see the Corruptors, though, laying in their own DPS, but the Corruptors, of course, being compromised by these Stalkers. We saw the entirety of that Mutalist fleet pretty much get wiped out with only 3